Good morning, family.
Good morning.
I am grateful to be here, to be able to stand and to be with you, with my husband, Steve. We're always grateful when we're given the opportunity to come and visit with our New Thought family of Long Island. Grateful to enjoy a beautiful drive in from Brooklyn and looking at all the trees and at the end of the foliage season, and there's still some red stuck in between the evergreens. It's just beautiful, and it reminds me of the abundance that just is. We live in an abundant universe. Gratitude. In scripture it says, rejoice always, pray constantly, give thanks in all circumstances. For Kathy, that's a tall order, to give thanks in all circumstances. Been thinking about gratitude. We're in the month of November. On the website unity.org, if you search Grateful Living, they invite you to join them on a 30-day journey to gratefulness. And each day throughout the month of November, they have a reading. Usually there's a beautiful photograph with an embedded quote in it, and it's been a great blessing to me. I began thinking about gratitude and what that means, so I like to go to a source, and one is a dictionary of sorts. And a couple of words I saw that were synonymous were appreciation. Yeah. Gratitude. Thanks. Feeling thankfulness. And then I go to my metaphysical source that speaks to us beyond the word on the page, beyond the literal definition. And I like to use the revealing word that's written by Charles Fillmore, co-founder of the Unity movement. And he says, gratitude and thanksgiving are both necessary in demonstrating prosperity. Be grateful to God and thankful to the friends whom he uses, or she uses, or it uses to supply you. He goes on to say that gratitude is a great mind magnet. And when it is expressed from the spiritual standpoint, it is powerfully augmented. It draws us friends, love, peace, health, and also material good. Someone named Reverend Paul Roach says, I believe we need only one thing to live in gratitude and appreciation, and that one thing is our ability to allow the present moment to unfold just as it is. To allow the present moment, the here and now, to unfold just as it is. Sometimes another tall order for Kathy, because sometimes I'm in that state that says, I don't like what's going on. I don't like the way I feel at this moment. I want to change it. I need someone to work it out for me instead of going into my truth and co-working it out with my higher self, that self with a capital S. So once in a while, I have some issues with being in the present moment and being thankful, being grateful. I love Marianne Williamson's book, Return to Love, and it's her thoughts on A Course in Miracles. And she says, gratitude is an opener of locked up blessings. Gratitude is an opening up, locked up, hemmed in blessings. I can work with that. It was in language that I understood. So I sought and I found. So I found something that I could work with. And I thought about when I feel restricted, when I feel hedged in or cornered in, when I feel fearful. And I began to think about, after reading her quote, what blessings am I blocking up? Then I began to think back on an earlier quote about being in a present moment that Reverend Paul talked about. And I realized that when I have those feelings of fear, when I feel hemmed in and locked in and boxed in, I'm not feeling good about the present moment. And it makes it difficult for me to feel the gratitude. What am I going to do about that? I go into my metaphysical, my spiritual toolbox and pull out those tools that I have tried over and over again that I know work. Prayer, meditation, just being, just sitting in that space, calling on the powers that we have inside of us that help us generate the courage to be in the present moment and to face the present moment and to feel the feelings of the present moment. Because I have found that's really what I don't want to do. Feel the feelings of that present moment. If it's something other than joy at the moment or happiness at the moment, glee, bliss, comfort. If I'm feeling a little outside of myself or feeling out of my comfort zone, it's an effort for me to want to be present. But as I've practiced and used my metaphysical tools, my spiritual tools, the tools of prayer and meditation, the tools of affirmative prayer, stating truth, sometimes before I see it actually unfolding, but claiming and laying hold of that truth with a capital T. Every time I am graced with the memory to remember to go back to that place, I can be in that present moment. And I can sprinkle that moment with gratitude. Sometimes my sprinkling is a little teeny tiny bottle. Sometimes my sprinkling looks like a nice big can that I can water my prayers with gratitude. Wherever I am in that given moment, just the willingness to be grateful sets the wheels of being okay in the present moment in motion, and I can just be. When I think about gratitude, I think about a woman named Martha Smock, who was a former editor for the Daily Word. And she says, "Do not wait to give thanks until every prayer is answered. Do not wait to give thanks until things are perfect. Give thanks where you are, in the present set of circumstances, in the conditions in which you find yourself. Give thanks for life. Give thanks for this day at hand. Give thanks for the opportunities to grow and to learn." Because it is our attitude of thankfulness that will lift us out of those feelings of fear, those feelings of anything other than the good that we might desire to experience. That was powerful for me. I began to think about stories that I heard as a child, Bible stories, and about Jesus doing these miracles. So I went back and read one. The feeding of the thousands with a couple of loaves and some fish. But I went back to it because I had a memory. There was something about before the food was distributed, Jesus held it. And the first thing he did was give thanks. He gave thanks for what he had. He gave thanks for being seen and being heard. And then he broke it, handed it off to his boys, women, disciples, fill in your word. And they went out and they were able to feed everybody, men, women, children. And there were baskets left over. He gave thanks. And then I began to think about the co-founder of this unity movement, Myrtle Fillmore, who got the whole thing started because she discovered, after being in a meeting, a new way of praying. because she heard a New Thought thinker say, I am a child of God and I do not inherit illness. And she took it in. I'm going to say she ran with it. Because she began to just give thanks for her body. She was told she had 6 months to live. She had TB, a death sentence in the 1800s. And she thanked her way back to health. She blessed every organ system. She blessed her lungs, her liver, you name it, she blessed it. Thanked it for already being healthy. But Myrtle did something else. She asked forgiveness of those parts of her body for calling them out of the truth of what they were. She said, please forgive me for calling you weak, for calling you puny and sick. She asked forgiveness. That really struck a chord with me. So I began to think about gratitude and forgiveness. I realized it's okay and easy for me to give thanks for the good. To give thanks and say thank you to people I just love, adore, admire. To give thanks for those unasked for gifts, those surprise blessings. But when I go back to the first scripture I opened with, which is be grateful, be thankful, give thanks in all circumstances, I hit the brakes. But then I went back to what I know is so. Because truth is always reproducible. Truth is no respecter of persons. If Myrtle did it, and her husband Charles saw her do it, and he did it, and healed himself, and if the people who saw them in action started saying, hey, what you doing? Because you look good. I can just see it. And because they understood the gift of sharing the good that they had discovered, I'll tell you what's up. Come to my house at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. We're all going to sit in prayer and hold an affirmation together. An affirmation, what's that? Just come. We'll do it together. And that nightly ritual began to blossom. Others heard about it. And they told 2 friends, and they told 2 friends. And pretty soon the whole town is doing this praying business. Next thing you know, word gets out, letters are coming to the house, and Myrtle's writing back. One thing leads to another, we have silent unity. We have the unity movement, part of the New Thought movement. And they were about the business affirming the truth, giving thanks. She gave thanks. Imagine taking 2 years to heal from tuberculosis. I can imagine some of the days when, I feel good. May not feel that good. I can imagine over a 2-year period, the back and forth. But she remained diligent. She remained focused in what she was there to do. Charles remained focused. The people with them who also found and saw results remained focused on what they were doing. And all the while giving thanks. All the while embracing this forgiveness thing. So again, to think about forgiveness, in my mind it meant to pardon someone, or perhaps the forgiveness of a debt of some kind. A remission. So I went back to another source, to the Revealing Word, to go beyond the literal definition. And Charles Fillmore tells us, forgiveness is a process of giving up the false for the true. Wow. What am I seeing through eyes that are not seeing from my spirit, that are not seeing the truth? What do I need to give up and alter through my prayer, through my meditation, through surrounding myself with like-minded people and immersing myself in uplifting, life-affirming reading and music How do I work my way through this process of forgiveness? How do I forgive? Take something, change my mind about it, see it through new eyes, and be grateful. Practice. That's what it takes for me. Practice. Charles goes on to say, it is through forgiveness that true spiritual healing is accomplished. Forgiveness removes the errors of the mind, and then harmony in mind, body, and affairs happens. It's about learning to make forgiveness a part of our thinking, that we are healed from our pain. Marianne Williamson says, the practice of forgiveness is an important contribution in healing our world. We are extensions of the Creator. I know we often hear we are the eyes, the hands, the feet of God. We are love in expression. And love in my book is an active verb. There's some doing that comes with this loving. It's not sitting back complacent. Oh yeah, I love you. What are my actions saying? Am I lining up my thoughts, my feelings, my words, and my actions? Am I being love and expression? If I'm being love and expression, I need some gratitude going on, and I need some forgiveness going on in my life. One of the biggest challenges for me was to move out of a space of judging with my senses, my 5 senses, maybe 5.5 sometimes, and moving in to spirit, to see through eyes of love, to see through my heart, to see beyond what someone is demonstrating at a given moment, and know that at that moment, he, she, whoever is experiencing some separation, but underneath all that and through all that to the true self, because we're all made in the image and likeness of the Creator, all good, absolute good. So in there, under the layers, is the divinity, the light. How can I see through all the dross and see, as Eric Butterworth says, New Thought thinker, writer, amazing, see the imprisoned splendor that is hemmed up, blocked up inside whoever I am experiencing as anything other to be grateful for. It's about me. It's about us individually. Forgiveness is about freeing ourselves from error thinking, knowing the truth, and moving forward, and giving thanks. Blessing the issue, blessing the person, blessing the political, oh, did I say that? Whatever it is, fill in your blank. I can say until doomsday. I can say until next year. But when I start believing and stepping out on faith that we all have, it's about focusing our faith from the inside out, so that faith is in the possibility, faith in abundance instead of faith in the what ifs. Oh my goodness, that's what fear is. It's still faith, it's just faith on the other side. I want to have faith on the light side. And so when we do these things, we realize we can be grateful. We can be thankful. Take a breath. Everybody, take a breath and let it out. We can all give prayerful thanks for the faith that we already have and our ability, or even our willingness, to forgive and experience the increase in our lives of what we want to see. There's a song by Nemo Patel and Daniel Namud. It's called Grateful, a Song to the World. And the lyrics are, part of them are, to the world, you're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I will ever be is a blessing. It's amazing. It's so amazing. And I'm grateful for it all. I today give thanks for what I desire before I see it. And then I know my faith is activated, my love is moving in action, and that this will be. Namaste.